All right, let's dive into one of the most chaotic times in Roman history.
Oh, absolutely.
A time that really, I think, shaped the military landscape of Europe as we know it.
For sure. Yeah.
We're talking about after Julius Caesar is assassinated in 44 BC.
Yeah.
And this power vacuum that opens up triggers a whole chain reaction of conflicts that determine the fate of the Roman Republic.
Absolutely.
And for you, a military history enthusiast, this is like prime time.
Yeah, this is great stuff.
It's just battle after battle.
Yeah.
Crazy maneuvering.
It's the fall of the Republic and the rise of the empire.
Yeah.
It's a really key turning point in Roman history, but also sort of Western civilization.
Absolutely.
If are true.
Yeah, and so I guess the thing that I always find so interesting is how these conflicts, they weren't just these isolated things. Right. They're like these tremors that really end up reshaping the course of...
They have a ripple
affect European history,
throughout the Mediterranean and Europe, for sure.
And you've got these huge personalities, too.
Huge.
I mean, you've got Mark Antony.
Right.
You've got young Octavian, Caesar's heir. And then, of course, these scheming senators.
Massive senators,
who just, it seems like, made some big blunders.
Yeah, there's some missteps for sure.
Yeah. So let's start right at the beginning.
Okay.
Immediately after Caesar is assassinated.
All right.
I mean, it's almost unbelievable to me that the senators who orchestrated this whole thing just seem to freeze.
Well, they think they did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They think they've restored the Republic.
Yeah, they think they've solved the problem.
They think they've taken care of this, you know, this very powerful and popular general who's upsetting the balance of power in Rome.
Right. And then they just let Mark Antony, Caesar's loyal lieutenant.
Yeah, his right-hand man.
Yeah, just take control.
Yeah. And Antony's the one who really understands how to use the situation to his advantage.
So was this a strategic blunder by the senators?
It was a blunder.
Or was it just sheer panic?
I think it's a little of both.
Yeah.
You know, they underestimated Antony.
Okay.
They thought they could control him.
Right.
They thought, you know, they were the ones calling the shots.
Right.
But Antony very quickly proves them wrong.
Yeah, and boy, does he exploit it.
He does. He really does.
He uses Caesar's will.
Yeah.
That incredibly dramatic display with the bloody toga.
That's political theater at its finest.
Yeah.
You know, he's whipping up the crowd.
Yeah.
He's playing on their emotions.
He's inciting them.
Yeah, he's inciting them against the assassins.
And forces the assassins to flee Rome.
And they're out.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a masterclass.
Yeah, he's a very...
in political maneuvering.
savvy political operator.
I mean, he was clearly a skilled orator.
He was.
And a savvy politician.
Yeah.
But he also had, I think, a really deep understanding of military strategy.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, remember, he served as Caesar's master of horse.
That's right.
Which is...
a very important...
it's a pretty significant role.
Second in command, essentially.
Yeah, so he's got firsthand experience.
Yeah, he's been...
in commanding Roman legions.
He's seen it.
And that's going to prove crucial.
It's going to be essential in these power struggles to come.
Yeah, because we've got the assassins, Brutus and Cassius.
Yeah, the conspirators on a run.
They're out.
They got to leave Rome.
But then Hagen enters. Octavian's 19-year-old.
Yeah, adopted son, heir.
Yeah.
And he comes back to Rome.
Yeah.
Claim his inheritance.
He wants his due.
Yeah, and he's stepping into...
what a mess.
A hornet's nest.
Oh. Yeah. What was it about this young man with virtually no military experience that allowed him to challenge someone like Antony?
Well, he was very smart.
Okay.
He was very intelligent.
Yeah.
And even though he was young, he had an intuitive grasp of politics.
Right.
I mean, he'd been watching Caesar for years. He'd been learning. He knew how to play the game.
And he knew how to win.
He knew how to win, and he knew how to get people on his side.
Okay, so he understood that he needed the support.
He needed the support
of both the people and the Senate.
You got to have both.
Okay. And unlike Antony, it seems like, who was more impulsive?
Antony's a little more rash.
Yeah.
Octavian is very, very careful.
Okay.
Very deliberate.
What patient.
Very patient. And that's one of his greatest strengths.
And, I mean, he even uses his own family's wealth.
Yeah. When Antony cuts him off.
To fulfill Caesar's will.
Yeah.
When Antony wouldn't give him access to the treasury.
That's right.
It's like he was playing.
Yeah, he's always
3D chess while everyone else is struggling with checkers.
He's a step ahead.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, and that strategic brilliance is what allows him...
that's what does it.
...to outmaneuver Antony.
Yeah.
secure the backing of the Senate, and position himself
He's the heir apparent.
as the true heir to Caesar.
He's making it happen.
Yeah.
He's not just waiting for it to fall into his lap.
Yeah.
He's going after it.
And this is where things get really interesting.
Right, okay.
Because despite being rivals, Antony and Octavian, along with this third general, Lepidus. Yeah. They formed the Second Triumvirate.
Yeah. Good old Lepidus.
Yeah. In 43 BC.
Yeah. He's often forgotten, but he's there.
We have these three powerful figures who used to be enemies.
Yeah. Frenemies at best.
Yeah. And they're uniting.
They got to team up.
Under this triumvirate.
Yeah.
What was that exactly?
So basically it's an alliance.
Okay. A formal alliance.
Kind of a temporary alliance.
Okay.
You know, it's like a three-headed monster.
Yeah.
Where each head is one of these guys.
Right.
And they're all vying for ultimate control.
Right.
But for the time being, they realize they need each other.
So they have a common goal.
They need to restore order to Rome.
Okay.
Which, let's be honest, means getting rid of their enemies.
Yeah.
Eliminating the opposition.
Okay.
And they do so very effectively.
Okay.
And ruthlessly.
So this purge, as they call it,
the purge
was a really brutal time, right?
It's a bloodbath.
They're targeting anyone suspected of disloyalty.
Anyone who even looks at them funny.
Yeah, they're confiscating property.
Yeah.
Even resorting to executions.
Heads are rolling.
Yeah. And one of the most famous victims of this is Cicero.
Poor Cicero.
Yeah, renowned orator and philosopher.
Yeah.
A great orator.
And a former ally of Octavian.
Yeah.
I mean, his death really highlights
it shows you
the brutality of this era.
How high the stakes are.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
These guys aren't messing around.
It's not just
this is not
a game. This is not a game.
Yeah, this is life or death.
This is life or death. This is the future of Rome.
And with their enemies eliminated, now the triumvirate can focus.
Now they got to deal with
on this other pressing issue.
Brutus and Cassius.
Who are gathering forces out east.
Yeah.
This is going to lead to the Philippic Wars.
The big showdown, the clash of the titans.
At a pivotal moment.
Turning point.
In Roman military history.
Absolutely.
All right, so we've got the stage set for this epic showdown.
Right.
The forces of the triumvirate.
Antony and Octavian.
Led by Antony and Octavian against the armies of the assassins.
Brutus and Cassius.
I mean, this must have been quite a spectacle.
Oh, yeah. This was a huge deal.
Yeah.
I mean, these battles, particularly the two at Philippi in 42 BC, were massive. I mean, they were significant, not just for their scale, but also for their strategic implications.
Right, okay.
I mean, these were battles that decided the fate of Rome.
But,
I mean...
So they highlight the military genius of Antony.
Oh, yeah.
Who was instrumental.
He's the one.
In these victories.
He's the brains behind the operation.
But Octavian's there, too.
Octavian's there.
He's playing a part.
He's learning.
Yeah.
He's watching.
Right.
He's still a young man.
Okay.
He's still figuring things out.
Right, but he's not quite involved in these battles.
Military genius that Antony is.
Okay, so he's more strategic than tactical at this point.
So he's learning the art of war the hard way.
And in fact, he actually suffers.
He gets beat.
A defeat at the hands of Brutus.
Yeah, he loses early on at Philippi.
But it was Antony.
But Antony comes through and wins.
Okay, so Antony gets the decisive victory.
A decisive victory.
Over Cassius.
Yeah.
And then
Cassius?
Cassius and Brutus both commit suicide.
Yeah.
Which marks the end of the Philippic Wars.
And
really cements.
The triumvirate is in control.
The triumvirate's control over Rome.
They're calling the shots now.
Yeah.
They've eliminated the opposition.
And they're victorious.
They're victorious.
They've won.
They've won.
So they divide up the Roman territory.
They got to split up the spoils.
Yeah.
Right.
So Lepidus gets
North Africa.
North Africa.
Yeah.
Octavian gets
Italy
in the west.
Yeah.
And then Antony, with all this proven military strength, gets the largest share.
Right.
The eastern provinces.
Yeah.
This seems like a recipe for conflict.
Trouble's brewing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got three ambitious guys. Yeah. You give them each a chunk of the Roman world.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Right.
So with the assassins defeated, the triumvirate seems to have a firm grip
in charge
on power.
Yeah.
But this stability is probably just an illusion.
It's not going to last.
Yeah.
These guys are too ambitious.
So Antony now fueled by ambition and maybe wanting to escape Octavian's growing influence,
maybe
sets his sights on a new challenge, conquering the Parthian Empire.
The Parthian Empire.
The Parthians.
Yeah.
Not an easy target.
Yeah. This is a formidable enemy to the east.
Formidable.
And known for their cavalry, their archers.
Oh, yeah.
The Parthian shot.
The famous Parthian shot.
I mean, this must have been...
a nightmare for the Romans.
A nightmare for the Roman legions.
Oh, yeah.
Which were traditionally infantry heavy.
Infantry heavy.
The Romans.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more about that Parthian shot?
Oh, it's a nasty tactic.
Yeah.
So basically, the Parthians, they're masters of mounted warfare. They would pretend to flee.
Right.
And then as they were riding away, they would turn in their saddles and fire arrows backwards.
Oh, wow.
With incredible accuracy.
So they're harassing and disrupting the Roman formations.
Disrupting,
while staying relatively safe.
Staying safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're out of range.
Wow. So it was...
It's a psychological blow.
A psychological...
As well as a physical one.
Physical one.
Yeah, so we have Antony.
Right.
This seasoned general.
Yeah, he's the veteran.
Heads east to tackle this challenge.
Yeah.
Leaving Octavian back in Rome. I can't help but wonder if Octavian saw this as an opportunity.
Oh, sure he did.
To further solidify his power.
Octavian was never one to miss an opportunity.
Yeah. He was always thinking a few steps ahead. Yeah, he's a shrewd operator.
So while Antony is off fighting the Parthians, Octavian's back in Rome.
Yeah.
Just solidifying his power.
He's playing the long game.
Yeah, and it's interesting how these two figures represent almost opposite approaches to power.
Yeah, they're very different.
You've got Antony, this charismatic general.
The warrior, the conqueror.
Seeking glory on the battlefield.
Yeah, he wants the glory.
And then you've got Octavian, this calculating strategist who's playing the long game in the political arena.
The political mastermind. Yeah.
And that difference.
It's going to come back to bite Antony.
Yeah. Is that ultimately Antony's downfall?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, while he's away, Octavian is spinning the narrative. He's using propaganda to portray himself as the true defender of Roman values.
Right, and contrasting that with Antony.
Who's over there?
Who's seen as being...
It's Cleopatra.
Under the sway of Cleopatra.
Yeah, Queen of Egypt.
Queen of Egypt. I mean, their relationship was a scandal back in Rome.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like Octavian really knew.
He knew how to play the crowd.
How to play on public perception.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He was a master of public relations.
Yeah, he's presenting Antony as abandoning Roman tradition.
Look, he's abandoned us.
Yeah.
He's gone native.
Yeah.
He's with this foreign queen.
Yeah, and this is a brilliant, but also kind of manipulative tactic.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That plays on these fears and prejudices.
The Roman people.
Yeah, xenophobia. Yeah. It's all there.
I mean, he even uses
their kid.
Antony's own children with Cleopatra as evidence of his supposed betrayal of Rome.
He's fathered children with this foreign queen.
Yeah.
He's not one of us anymore. So while all this political maneuvering is happening back in Rome, Antony's dealing with the Parthians.
He's got a hands full.
In the east.
Yeah, the Parthians.
Yeah. And even for a seasoned general like Antony, this must have been a challenge.
Oh, yeah.
The Parthians were masters.
Mounted
warfare.
Yeah, hit and run tactics.
And their tactics were perfectly suited.
Yeah, they knew how to fight the Romans.
To exploiting the weaknesses.
Direct confrontation.
To harass.
I mean, Antony's campaign...
It was a disaster.
Against them.
Yeah, a costly failure.
It was costly. Yeah. And ultimately a failure.
Yeah, he did not conquer the Parthians.
This was a...
major.
Significant blow to his prestige.
To his reputation.
Yeah.
Back in Rome, they're like...
And it gives Octavian...
See, I told you so.
More ammunition to use against him.
Exactly. Yeah. More fuel for the fire.
And this Parthian campaign...
And this broader Roman presence in the East... Brings us to a point where... Roman history intersects with the story. Of another ancient people. The Jewish people.
The Jewish people, yeah. They're right in the middle of this.
Right in the middle of it. They're caught in the crossfire.
Caught between these two empires.
Of these Roman power struggles.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit more about how this played out?
So at this time, Judea, the ancient homeland of the Jewish people, is a Roman province, but it's a volatile region. Roman control is tenuous. The Parthians see an opportunity. They're like, hey, Rome's distracted. Let's go cause some trouble.
They're fighting amongst themselves.
Exactly. So they launch an invasion of Judea in 42 BC.
Right around the same time.
Same time that
Antony and Octavian are fighting Brutus and Cassius.
Yeah, they're taking advantage of the chaos.
Wow. So the internal conflicts within Rome. These power struggles between Antony and Octavian.
They have ripple effects that destabilize the whole region.
They embolden Rome's enemies.
Yeah, they make Rome look weak.
And create instability in the provinces.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous time to be alive.
So this Parthian invasion of Judea was a direct consequence
result
of this power vacuum created by Caesar's assassination.
And all the fighting that followed.
Yeah, and the subsequent conflicts.
Yeah.
So for the Jewish people
tough spot.
Living in Judea, this meant being caught.
Between a rock and a hard place?
Between these two powerful empires.
Yeah, who do you side with?
What was the situation like?
So the Jewish people had been in Judea for a long time. Centuries.
Yeah.
They had a rich history. A rich culture. But
at this point,
they weren't a major power. They weren't a big empire.
So they're not a major military or political force.
Right. They're just trying to survive. They're trying to maintain their identity.
So they're seeking to maintain their religion and cultural identity under the rule of these foreign empires.
Not easy.
Yeah. I mean, their story during this period.
It's a story of resilience.
Must have been one of resilience.
Adaptation.
Yeah. It's a tough time to be a Jew in Judea.
So we have Antony, weakened by this defeat in the East.
His reputation's tarnished.
Yeah.
He's lost a lot of men.
Yeah, embroiled in scandal.
Big scandal.
Back in Rome.
Yeah.
While Octavian is just...
back in Rome looking good.
Skillfully consolidating his power.
Yeah.
Playing on public perception.
Yeah.
Manipulating events to his advantage.
He's playing chess.
Yeah.
While Antony's playing checkers. It seems like the clash between these two...
it's coming.
And inevitable.
The final showdown is on the horizon.
Yeah.
It's a classic setup for a final showdown.
Yeah, and it was only a matter of time before this rivalry between Antony and Octavian came to a head.
It all comes down to this.
And the final showdown takes place in 31 BC.
31 BC.
At the Battle of Actium. A naval engagement.
Yeah.
Off the coast of Greece.
Big naval battle.
Okay, so a naval battle,
that's
a bit of a departure.
Yeah, we've been talking about...
from the land battle.
Yeah,
discussing what led to this clash at sea.
Antony, with Cleopatra by his side,
right,
had assembled a huge fleet.
Okay.
A massive fleet.
So he's hoping to...
He wants to challenge Octavian. For control of the Mediterranean.
Control of the Mediterranean.
Yeah.
But Octavian
anticipated this.
He's ready for him.
Yeah. He's not going to be caught off guard.
So he's been building up...
He's been building up his own navy.
His own naval forces.
Yes. Yeah, he's got a good admiral.
Okay. And who's he got commanding?
Agrippa.
Yeah. Okay, so this wasn't just a clash of personalities.
No.
This was a strategic battle.
This is about control of the sea.
For control of the sea.
Which is essential.
Yeah, crucial for trade.
Trade, communication.
Projecting power.
Yeah, projecting power throughout...
the whole Roman world. Yeah.
And Actium.
Actium.
Turned out to be a decisive victory.
Yeah, it's all over. For
Octavian. Yeah. His fleet is destroyed.
Antony and Cleopatra's fleet.
They got to get out of there.
Is routed.
Yeah, they flee back to Egypt.
Yeah.
But it's the beginning of the end.
Yeah, this defeat must have been devastating.
Yeah, it's humiliating.
For Antony to be defeated by the man.
By this young upstart.
He once considered...
yeah, the guy he thought...
a junior partner.
He could control.
Yeah.
He underestimated Octavian.
And it was the beginning of the end for him.
Yeah.
Antony and Cleopatra.
They both commit suicide.
Facing certain defeat.
Yeah.
Both commit suicide the following year.
Yeah. Rather than be captured.
And with their deaths.
Yeah.
Octavian stands alone.
He's the top dog.
As the undisputed
master of Rome.
And with that,
that's it.
The Roman Republic.
The Republic is dead.
Already teetering on the brink.
Yeah. Caesar's assassination.
He is effectively extinguished.
Really was the turning point.
Yeah. And Octavian, later known as Augustus
Caesar,
becomes
the first emperor.
The first Roman emperor.
Yeah.
and ushers in this era of imperial rule.
It's a new era for Rome.
That lasts for centuries.
Yes, the Roman Empire.
Yeah, it's remarkable to think.
It is amazing.
How Caesar's assassination.
Just one event.
This seemingly isolated.
Yeah, this one act of violence.
Act of violence.
Yeah.
Sets in motion this chain of events.
This domino effect.
That leads to the demise.
The end of the Republic.
The Republic and the rise.
The beginning of the Empire.
Of the Empire.
Yeah.
It really shows how these conflicts.
These power struggles.
These battles for power.
Yeah.
Weren't just.
They weren't isolated.
These isolated events.
They had consequences.
They were the tremors.
They changed the course of history.
That reshaped the course of European history.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And for anyone who's interested.
And for military history enthusiasts.
Military history?
This period is a gold mine.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the battles that we've talked about.
Philippi, Actium.
From Philippi to Actium.
Yeah.
They really showcase.
Epic battles.
Roman military tactics.
The evolution of Roman warfare.
Yeah, the strategic brilliance.
Yeah.
Of commanders like Antony. Yeah. These guys were.
And the impact of new technologies and strategies.
It's clear that Caesar's assassination was a turning point.
Yeah, no, going
in Roman history.
After that.
This catalyst that accelerated the transition.
From Republic to Empire.
From Republic to Empire.
Yeah.
But it also begs this larger question.
The big question.
Was this shift?
Could the Republic have been saved?
In power, inevitable.
Was it doomed?
Could the Republic have been saved?
From the start.
Yeah, and I think that's a question.
Yeah, it's a debate.
Historians are still debating.
Goes on to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some argue that the Republic was already in decline.
Yeah, it's already.
Riddled with internal divisions.
Torn apart.
Yeah.
Weakened by civil war.
And weakened by decades.
Decades of civil war.
Of civil war.
Yeah, they were killing each other.
Yeah, others believe that Caesar's assassination.
Right.
And the power struggles that followed.
Yeah, all the chaos.
Really dealt a fatal blow.
Yeah. The final nail in the coffin.
To a system that might have otherwise survived.
Yeah, maybe.
It's a fascinating thought experiment.
Yeah.
To consider what might have been.
What if?
Yeah, but what is undeniable.
What we know for sure.
Is that this period.
This period.
With its dramatic conflicts.
Yeah, all the drama.
These larger-than-life figures.
The big personalities.
Had a profound impact.
It changed everything.
On the course of.
Western civilization.
Western civilization.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Roman Empire, born out of these struggles, shaped the political, the legal, and the cultural landscape of Europe.
Yeah.
For centuries to come.
For centuries.
Yeah. And for those of you who want to delve deeper
check out
into this fascinating period.
Sources.
I highly recommend exploring.
The primary source.
The primary sources. The letters, the speeches.
The letters.
The historical accounts. Give us a glimpse.
Yeah, they give us a window.
Into the minds of the people who lived through.
Who were there.
These tumultuous times.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that history.
It's not just dates.
Isn't just a collection of dates and names.
It's about people.
It's a story.
Yeah, it's a story.
Of human ambition.
Ambition, conflict.
Conflict.
The struggle for power.
And the enduring struggle for power.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for listening.
Into one of the most pivotal periods.
It was a wild ride.
In Roman history.
It was awesome.